at all costs, do what you believe in. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do what you believe in, you have to live with the consequences of doing what you didn't believe in. And in every way, entrepreneurship is going to show you failure. It's going to show you failure way more than it's ever going to show you success. It's going to show you let down. It's going to show you fake. It's going to show you real. But you can never kind of get away from the aspect of this is what you believe in and this is what I'm going to do.
Also, sure, I just want to put in a simple plug for y'all.
Man, shout out to That's a Plug. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, and catch the wave while you can.
So man, you are with Justin Drummond, also known as the Inspirationist. And the Inspirationist, by definition, is one who inspires through information, inspiration, and the access to opportunity. That's who I am, Justin Drummond, the Inspirationist.
Where did you get that name from?
So man, I wanted to do something different and really just kind of dialed into, who I was and actually the inspiration that I wanted to give. And it's very creative. And, the Inspirationist, I always think kind of like a scientist that's kind of cooking up, inspiration, whether it's creativity, and just really zoning in to, what's inside of you and what inspires you, man. So the Inspirationist took me a little time to come up with that name, but it was definitely something that kind of popped in my head.
How long exactly, if you had to give it a time, like how long?
It took about a good 6 or 7 months, because I had another, so I changed, kind of rebranded my speaking brand to the Inspirationist, and I don't want to go into back what the previous brand was, but it was coming up, a lot of people say the Inspirationalist. Mm-hmm. At least if you type on your phone, that's what
autocorrect first.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everybody says. So it's good. It's kind of something new and it's something creative that I know that's something that you can only say Justin Drummond has, and it is, something that I think my inspiration is very unique. So I think it definitely fits the story, man.
Right. So let's get into the inspirational part. Where did that come from? Have you always been an inspirational person, or?
Yeah, so I've always had to kind of be a leader kind of growing up. I've always been happy to be a leader and kind of, help others along their way, and that comes with what? You gotta inspire people, you gotta motivate them to keep going, you gotta motivate people to buy a team, and just, zoning into kind of what makes them their best. And, with this new generation, of course, I'm only 25, so I know young people, we need something creative, but also something that's going to inspire us. Something's different about the way you inspire this generation. Right. And I wanted to kind of hone in that by doing some creative things. I come out like with smoke, or, come through smoke when I speak, and I do like some inspirational sounds, some cool things that really throw people off, and I get a great response, man, from young kids to 40, 50-year-old parents, so. Just being a leader early in life, this has kind of flourished into being the Inspirationist, man. It becomes easy because I did a lot of it growing up, so it's kind of, coming into fruition now, man.
So you have like siblings or something you had to be the leader for?
So I'm actually the youngest, man. I'm the youngest of 3. So, but I played a lot of sports growing up, and I was pretty good in basketball. And that's kind of, I've always been a leader of a lot of the teams that I've been around. And I definitely have to motivate, people to be on time and just hold people accountable. That also comes with motivating them to hold themselves accountable.
Right.
So through that process, it just really has come easy to me, man. I enjoy it. It's kind of like my release, and I watch my own stuff because, I have about 3 businesses that I run on a daily basis. So, sometimes I do get down because, entrepreneurship is a
roller coaster.
Most
definitely.
Yeah.
So when you feel those down moments, you feel like, I'm sure you experience doubt.
Yeah.
Probably you'll feel like you should be where you are. You feel like you should be better and all that shit. Like when you get there, how do you get up out of it?
Definitely. So I just keep working. The one thing that I've always told myself, because I started my first company with $400, which is nothing. I mean, that's a website, a month. I mean, and you got a lot of things trying to get on, off the ground.
Right.
And stuff just wasn't coming through when I first started, and I just had to just say, the work that I put into the universe will always go rewarded. I say, hard work never goes unrewarded. And if you put it out there, it will come back to you. And I just kind of stayed true, staying until 3, 4 a.m. If you look at a lot of my IG stories and I'm up till 3 or 4 a.m.
Right.
Whether it's putting together 100 emails to send out the next morning, whether it's, doing some research or just, the things that I know, this will make me successful. I can't be doing all this work and get nothing from it. And I've just believed in that, and once I got that first opportunity from that concept, man, I don't, I've been broke. I ain't scared to go broke. I ain't scared to be down because I know my work is always going to go rewarded, man. And I stay true to that, and it's always come through for me, man. Funny thing is, I've been at times where I'm like, and then that last email that somebody read that got back to me is why my company still afloat rather than, because stuff costs and monthly, you got to keep the money coming in. So, man, just always staying true to hard work and never letting, opportunities that you don't get, stop you from pushing to what you want. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my mind frame, from getting down. Because I shoot about 10% from the field as an entrepreneur, man. And that's good. You shoot 10% from the field, you balling.
Most definitely.
Because some people shooting 4 or 5. So it's just something that you experience, man. But you grow stronger to it, and you just, you're not scared of failure, man. Because you see it, and you know how to adjust, you know how to maneuver, and you get back on your one. You just gotta keep going.
Right. Do you think that now you a little more seasoned in the game of entrepreneurship that failure has become your friend, or you still beefing with failure?
Man, I actually do embrace failure, but good failure.
Yeah.
It's good failure.
It's a difference.
It's a difference.
Elaborate on that. What's the difference?
Good failure and bad failure. I would say good failure is you're doing something right, you just barely missed the mark.
Right.
Bad failure is you're not taking it serious, you're not doing your research, you're not doing everything you could have done, and that led to the failure.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So good failure is just like, you get, some teams you play them in, whatever sport, you like, man, you go shake their hand, you beat them.
Yeah.
And you like, man, y'all real.
Good
What I'm
sport,
saying? It's a good sport, right? Because they did everything. That was a good loss, because we learned something from it and we gave all we had. But those are the losses that I love. The losses that I hate is the ones where I should have done more, should have checked that email before I seen that typo, whatever the case may be. And from that, you learn more from those good failures because you build on those.
Most definitely.
Bad failures, you kind of reevaluate.
Yeah.
You can't really build. So that's, so I've always kind of zoned into understanding what good failures are and try to hold myself to, if I do fail, let's make sure it's a good fail, that it was a prepared fail. Right. It was a, whatever the case may be, to make sure that I was prepared too. If I did get that, I'll be ready. And if it doesn't, you shake your shoulders off and keep it moving. So, man, I'm not scared of failure at all. Actually, I like it because then it lets me know what I need to do faster. Tell me what I'm doing wrong faster so I can get there. I hate people that, especially, clients, they try to hold you around, but they're really not gonna give you nothing. And you kind of, it's like, no, tell me you're not gonna give me anything so I can move on. Or just be real with me. And I think, that kind of way of differentiating good failure and bad failure kind of helps you know, okay, are you progressing or you're not progressing? Because you can fail, you can be failing and still moving forward. Right. But you can be failing and you're going backwards at the same time.
Got you. So your first business, what was your first business?
So my first business, man, I've always loved safety. I've always loved security. I'll be locking the doors at home. My dad's gone, making sure I got the knife under the pillow just in case, cuz come in the house and we gotta handle some business. But that kind of came to fruition when I was in school, and I started a company called Spark C. And we started out as a private security firm. I didn't know anything. I literally took a leap of faith, started this company in 2013 when I was playing basketball, probably the height of my basketball career. A lot of people looked at me like, hold on, what are you doing? Is this really you? And I just always believed in myself, man. I got some laughs when I told people I want to start a business. I'm reading books. They're like, what you doing reading?
Right.
What are you doing, bro? Because, and then they got books 2 or 3 months later showing up, popping up around the, bus. So, but that, that whole process, I started it and it went well. But I really just did it just to get a foundation. And starting my business in college is the reason why I'm able to do it now. Mm-hmm. If I did not start my business in college, it would be so tough for me to have to do everything I needed to do and still make money because I'm coming out of college and the bills hit quick. Yeah. So you have to have a plan. And that's one of the messages that I'm pushing to schools right now that we're trying to get in, is teaching kids about what's the importance of doing that. For those that want to be entrepreneurs, everybody and their mom want to be an entrepreneur until they get out and they're like, dang, I ain't even prepared. I can't get this 9 to 5 check, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then by that time, you're already in that routine of life. And it's so hard to get out of a routine of life, especially when you got your bills all set up and your whole life. And doing that in college, I was able to build that client base, build my website, understand what I was actually doing, how I was going to make money. And from there, I just really, just kind of went all the way with it after school, but I had a foundation. I did my research when I was in school, so I came out with something.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I'm able to do it now, man.
Do you think school helps you out in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, because it shows you what you don't want to do, at least for me. It showed me what I didn't want to do, which was honestly work for somebody. I don't doubt people to do, but it's not for everybody. And for me, I work very hard, man. So I must get 100% of what I get, of what I work for. I'm not the 30% guy, the 40% guy. So, through college, I learned that, my profession that I wanted to be, which was like an FBI agent or something like that. I wanted to do James Bond, these Mission Impossible type stuff. That's not real, son. You're sitting there filing paperwork, report. So I wasn't with that, and I didn't make enough money too, of course, but it just wasn't my calling, man. And through college, I learned kind of what I wanted to be and what I didn't want to be. And what I wanted to be was my own boss, man. And and also with basketball, I was always told where I had to be and what I had to do, and I wasn't trying to do that my whole life.
Right.
And I just was like, man, you got to start now if you want to be able to boss up after. So, I didn't just expect it to happen. I took the time and I waited 2 years in school. So I had 2 years to grow a business before I got out where it really mattered.
Right.
And did the trick, man.
So you gave yourself the 2 year time frame?
Yeah, 2 year time frame. Yeah, started my business December 23rd, 2013, but it took me about 10 months to get the concept together. So I was doing it pretty much started my junior year and then built it. And of course, I was playing basketball, so I knew all the donors. So I made money, man. I made about, I'm glad I'm not stuff right now, right? But I made about $3,000, man, in school, and it was all legit, of course, but I knew donors that had companies, and I had a business now. Like I had forums, it was all legit.
Yeah.
And I made money, but I was learning how to work with customers. So people would actually buy this. So I had that time for experience when the money didn't matter. I didn't, school, they paid for my housing, so I didn't have to worry about the income. So I was really able to, focus on building my substance so I could actually do it, because you can't rush that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And so that 2 years, man, it was. I thank God, to this day for wising me up to just buckle down, because it would have been a disaster if I'd tried to come out and do it now. Yeah, because it's tough, man.
Got you. So as far as the suit company,
Yeah.
that kind of play, because you went from basketball to security, and now you got suits.
Yeah, man. So and I love telling the story too, because it's kind of like an adventure. So first thing, I've always believed in generational wealth, right? I've always believed that your kids should have an easier life than you had if you're doing the right things, and the things that you worked for, they should be able to build off of and add some more on top.
Right.
So with the security company, that's one. But I've also loved suits, man. And I've also loved seeing brothers in suits. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where we need to go. Just to be in the business realm and just make sure that our appearances are right. So, man, took a trip to Thailand, brother, 2015. Took a trip to Bangkok, Thailand. With the idea of I wanted to meet somebody that was willing to do business with me in America, because I knew, first thing, suits here is terrible. I bought my first suit for like $700, and it was like from Joseph A. Bank, bro. Yeah. It was like an usher suit. Them joints that are like straight down. They go past your arms and everything. $700. And I'm like, no, it's just more out here. And I know for a young professional like me, I gotta wear suits pretty much every day. And we don't like people seeing us in the same suits all the time. You start, you feel broke or something, whatever the case may be. I think this live went out. I think this live went out. So went to Thailand, man. Met about 30 distributors, man. And once I met them, decipher them, seeing which ones were good, see which ones were bad. See who knows business. And man, came down to one distributor that I, left with, and we've been building a relationship for about 3 years, man. And it's been really good, man. We get some really good suits, fabrics. You can see right here. This is one of them. Some icy, of course. You can get the focus on that. And we sell good prices, man.
What's it made out of?
Silk and wool. So it's high quality silk and wool. We get our fabrics from France, Thailand, Italy. So we're kind of all around. We're starting generic right now. So this is a silk inside of wool. But we're continuing to build, man. We're doing kind of like the generic, just one colors right now. But we definitely got patterns, man, and it's just, great quality for a good price, man. And so, the idea of kind of making the prices so low, we get 2 of these for $4.99 just to, plug the prices. So it's a great deal for just the growing entrepreneur, the growing millennial in this day and age where you have to have continuous suits and you just have to be on point, especially to elevate, and definitely in the corporate world. So that's the main reason, talking about my entrepreneurship and empowerment. This is a way that I know I can give back by providing, quality and low price suits so people can grow instead of having to break their bank account to get a nice suit to impress, whoever.
When did you start that company?
Started it in 2015. Started in 2015. Actually, we didn't launch until about 2 months ago.
Gotcha.
But we've been building it. I mean, this concept I've been building it nonstop for the last 3 years. So you can order yours if you're looking to check out some of the suits that we have. Execsuits.com. That's spelled EXECZ suits.com. So it's Exec Suit Company. And we would love for you to come over, check out the fabrics we have, and see if we can get something that works for you. If you have your measurements, definitely submit those online because we offer tailored suits. It's only for you and nobody else. So we look forward to, seeing your order.
That was a commercial right there.
Nice.
I was like that. That's cool, man. That's dope. So how do you manage running 3 businesses?
Yeah.
How does that work out?
So man, very little sleep, man. If you see also my Instagram, I'm always up 3-4 a.m. in the morning because man, I won't have to work like this forever, and I know that. I try to say, I don't have to work like this till I'm 35. Then I'm just pretty much answering phone calls, doing stuff like this, not having to do all the parts of running out the meeting. I mean, just I hold probably about 5 positions in each company right now. I do marketing, do the emailing, do servicing, everything. So. But I know it's not going to be doing this forever. And that's what I try to tell some people is, would you rather work extremely hard now or be working forever? Because if you're just working your normal, 9 to 5 and not building something that's yours behind the scenes, you're always going to be working that.
Right.
It's never going to change. So, my idea is I go this hard now for the first 10 years. For the next 50, I'm just making money answering phone calls. So that's my concept and also my motivation to continue to kind of work at the pace I do because it's pretty insane, man. My girlfriend and my mom kind of tell me all the time, man, you need to slow down, but I'm like, I can't because if I slow down, I'm the one that has to live with, the consequences of doing it or not doing it. Mm-hmm. So, and that's kind of with me just taking on entrepreneurship instead of basketball. I have to tell a lot of people is, you're not going to live with the consequences of this decision. So I got to make it based on me, and I'm prepared to live with the consequences. I'm living pretty good. So with my inspiration, I have an organization that I'm currently under. It's called Dreamers, and this is very new, of course. It's with the Inspiration brand, but it's really just ultimately the goal for that, and that's kind of like the third business, pretty much the inspiration piece. So I have Spark, Exec Suit Company, and Dreamers Inspirationist.
Yeah.
And ultimately it is, man, just to be able to fund other young people's dreams. Basically, people that look like me. Because we are, a lot of young black men, black women that want to be entrepreneurs. We really don't have the capital or the ability to have no strings attached capital that really isn't in your best interest.
Right.
And sometimes that may do because it's not coming from within your culture. It's not coming from within people that actually want to see you and others that look like you move forward. And with kind of me starting all these businesses, it's to kind of be financially free to do what your actual calling is. So some people they can't chase their dreams for capital or just being tied to some of the strings that come with getting capital. Like if you don't make it, you're done.
Yeah.
You owe that money back plus interest, and it's just like and it's only really because some cultures don't have the amount of money to have that base. Black folks can call somebody and get $200K, but maybe somebody that's white, or people that have that wealth that's been culturally built. And that's something that I want to be able to give, definitely young people of the future an opportunity to get that honest, let's say, startup. Mm-hmm. So whether it's $20,000, $30,000, that it's solely for you. It's not an interest-based type thing because we have businesses, we got that money coming in. Mm-hmm. And that's my ultimate goal, man, with everything that I'm doing. Once I sell these companies and then do other stuff, that's dreamers will always be there. This inspiration piece will always be there because it's something that will live on way beyond, my years or, yeah. So
How do you get to a point where you build these companies, right? And you start them from ground up, like you said, you're playing 5 roles in each company right now, so they're all kind of your babies,
Right.
to a certain extent. How do you get to a point to where you say, when I sell these jumps and then move on to whatever I'm doing next? How you get there?
Yeah, man, sure. I always, man, this is something that I've always thought of, man. And as I get more in this business world, I see people start to sell and understand selling, even though I'm nowhere near that.
Right.
And I say I would never sell, man, but the only reason why I say that now, people that are older, they're like, no, once 25 years done, you're done with that. You sell it, you're gone. But it's just like, why sell it? Because if I sell it, usually 9 times out of 10 we sell it to people that don't look like us, right? And that kind of takes away the power to hire who I want, to invest in who I want. Some of those things that you need to kind of keep in your community to make sure that we thrive no matter what. We sell off a company that is multi-million dollars to people that don't really have our best interests at heart. It doesn't really kind of keep that legacy that you built to keep. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you can get your check for $10 million for selling it, but is your other business going to have the impact? And I get it. It's about the person that started, of course, the entrepreneur, but it's also about the people that you want to help within the journey. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'm like, I don't know if I would sell, because I always wanted to stay within black hands that can make decisions in the best interest of black people.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Got you.
And with all my businesses, because we just need that in our community. Like, we need to have ways where you can call on, where you're from college. We have businesses set up, whether it's somebody, but it's something that you're appreciated culturally. And black people just gonna be black people sometimes, man. It's tough to be that in a suit. And that's what I want all my business environments to be like, man. You can be black in here, we can do whatever, But we're gonna, of course, be getting money. We're gonna be serious about our business. But you can be you, who you naturally are, man. Because I'm like that, I'm not serious, laughing, joking, I'm black person.
What's your number one tip or, I guess, hand up to the next business mogul, like a person that's running multiple businesses?
Yeah, so
what's your number one advice for them? I know it's plenty of things you can say.
The number one advice.
Number one.
Let me think about that for a second.
It's a heavy question.
Yeah, it's a lot, because man, everything kind of goes the same way. The one thing that I would tell the starting entrepreneur is, at all costs, do what you believe in. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do what you believe in, you have to live with the consequences of doing what you didn't believe in. And in every way, entrepreneurship is going to show you failure. It's going to show you failure way more than it's ever going to show you success. It's going to show you let down. It's going to show you fake. It's going to show you real. But you can never kind of get away from the aspect of, this is what you believe in and this is what I'm going to do. When I started my business, I didn't have family support on the level of, my dad kind of didn't really believe in my vision. I kind of had to kind of put my foot down and just go. And even a lot of people that, within my community, they didn't believe in it. And it was just, I got some real very bad vibes when I wanted to do this. And I'm thinking, this is the right thing to do. This is not wrong to do. And I just really had to kind of go to tunnel vision, man, and understand, Justin, if you believe in this, you got to just go with it, man. And you got to be man enough to live with the results, or woman enough to live with the results, for those ladies that are entrepreneurs. And that's something that, man, I've never forgotten. And of course, the belief, it must be action. People that believe and don't act, it goes hand in hand. So that would be my one advice, is you just got to continue to believe in yourself. Because it was an opportunity today that I didn't get, man. I was working 10 months on the opportunity, spent probably about over $1,000 to get it, didn't get it. And $1,000 for me, man, I'm not rich at all. So, I'm definitely working, money's working for me. And I just got to continue to believe in myself, man, and continue to get up the next day and continue to go just as hard as I went, bro. And I know I'll get there, and it shows. We're doing well. I had one employee for a full year this It was actually a week ago. So that's an accomplishment, man. We had one full employee, and I was like, never think I would have that, this early. We actually had 2, but we ended with a full 1 year. So we're just looking forward to building on, getting 2 employees, 3 employees. Hopefully we got 100 one day, 200 one day. So, but you just can never stop believing, man. No matter what, never stop believing. Through all the ups and downs, those are going to come. You can't control those, but as long as you keep the faith on what you want to do and you keep your eyes on the prize, man, you will get there. I promise you, you will get there.
Do me a favor, shout out your social media where everybody can find
definitely.
you, websites.
So pop out your phones, pop them out. You can follow me on Instagram at The Inspirationist, not The Inspirationalist, because I know that's probably what's going to come up on some of y'all autocorrects. The Inspirationist _ THEINSPIRATIONIST _. I'm just looking because I'm trying to get the numbers down. And also, if you want to order a suit or you want to learn more about Execs Suit Company, you can follow us on Instagram at Exec Suit Company, Execs _Suit _Company. That's Execs with a Z, EXECZ. And man, we get the best prices. We have a phrase that is made up. Order yours now. Best prices and best quality in town. All right. And as far as the Inspirationist, as far as Spark, that's more professional stuff. It's more the boring part of my life. I can't wait to sell that company and get that over with. But and keep execs and dreamers. But everything's going good. Just want to let y'all know some of the projects that we got going on. So I do a product called Inspirational Sound, man. That's really cool that I do. When I speak about it, I kind of do that along with my speaking and get a great response. I'm doing a project called A Different Route. Because through my whole journey, man, I've always had to take a different route to get where I need to go, and this is gonna be a really cool project, man. And we definitely about to really take it mainstream. We love getting good response from it, and we're gonna definitely take it to the next level. Got a book coming out. I do a segment called Biz Talk that's around kind of business principles for young millennial entrepreneurs, and I got a series coming out called Back to the Basics, man. Get back to the basics. Because I see some of these brothers out here and ladies out here, and we need to peel back that book and see where we started, because it's definitely changing, and the way you got to move is a lot different now in the corporate environment. So got those coming on IG. So if you're on IG, definitely look out for those. I'm sure you can definitely learn something. But other than that, we're just gonna keep the inspiration coming. We're trying to get into more colleges to spread the message of why it's important to start your business in college. So if you have anybody, Black student unions, all student unions that want speakers, we'd be glad to come out and share this message with y'all, man. Yo, this is Justin Drummond, the Inspirationist, and I'm here rocking with That's a Plug. Great interview. I appreciate y'all. We out.
Hey man, tune in to That's a Plug. Also, I just want to put in a simple plug for y'all.
Man, shout out to That's a Plug. Make sure y'all tune in, subscribe, and catch the wave while you can.